June 19, 2011. The Baltic Sea is cold, dark, and silent. A team of Swedish treasure hunters, Ocean X, is scanning the seabed with state-of-the-art sonar equipment. They are searching for shipwrecks, old trading vessels, sunken warships, the usual treasures of the deep. Then, something strange appears on the sonar screen. It is a perfect circle, 60 meters in diameter, with sharp, straight edges, right angles, and a long, sloping drag mark stretching behind it for hundreds of meters. As if something massive had skidded across the ocean floor and come to a sudden, violent stop. The sonar operator blinks. He checks his equipment. No malfunction. The image on the screen is real, but it makes no sense. The object is resting nearly 90 meters beneath the surface. The water pressure down there is immense. The temperature is near freezing. The visibility is almost zero. And on the sonar screen, this thing looks engineered. The Ocean X team has a decision to make. They can ignore the anomaly, log it as an interesting rock formation, move on to easier targets. Or they can dive. They choose to dive. And what happens next plunges them into the middle of the greatest unsolved mystery in modern maritime exploration. This is the story of the Baltic Sea Anomaly. Let us begin. The Ocean X team is not a group of university academics. They are professional treasure hunters. They have spent years exploring the Baltic Sea, recovering lost artifacts, sunken champagne, and valuable historical wrecks. They know these waters. They understand sonar. And they have never seen anything like this. The anomaly is located in international waters, in the Gulf of Bothnia, between Sweden and Finland. The exact coordinates are kept secret to prevent looting and interference. The depth is approximately 90 meters. The water is brackish, a mix of fresh and salt water, which means it preserves materials differently than the open ocean. The sonar image shows something extraordinary. The object is not a natural mound. It is not a pile of rocks. It has features. Straight lines. Sharp corners. What appears to be a staircase. What appears to be a doorway. What appears to be a massive dome resting on a flat platform. The team cannot resist. They prepare a dive. The conditions are brutal. 90 meters is well beyond recreational diving limits. The team uses specialized gas mixtures and advanced rebreather technology. The descent takes time. The light from the surface fades quickly, replaced by an increasingly dark and cold green gloom. When they finally reach the object, their electronic equipment begins to fail. Dive computers flicker. Lights dim. Cameras freeze. One diver reports that his compass starts spinning wildly. Another says his radio communication cuts out completely, leaving him in total silence. The closer they get to the anomaly, the more intense the interference becomes. They press forward. Through the murky darkness, a shape begins to emerge. It is massive. It is dark. It has hard, angular edges. It does not look like a natural rock formation. It looks like concrete. It looks like metal. It looks like something that was built. The divers report seeing a long, sloping trail behind the object. Almost like a runway. Almost like something had been dragged across the seabed. Almost like the object had crash-landed. They also report something else. Something deeply unsettling. There are holes. Circular holes, arranged in patterns. They appear to be carved into the surface of the object. They are not random. They are not caused by erosion. They look deliberate. They look designed. And then there is the staircase. One of the divers describes a formation that resembles a set of steps, leading up to a flat platform, on top of the dome, as if someone, or something, was meant to stand there, and look out over the dark, empty seafloor. The team surfaces with more questions than answers. They have photographs. They have video footage. They have sonar data. And they have a problem. They have no idea what they found. The story goes public. The media loves it. UFO enthusiasts claim it is a crashed flying saucer. Ancient astronaut theorists argue it is a remnant of a lost civilization. Skeptics dismiss it as a glacial rock deposit. The scientific establishment refuses to engage. But the Ocean X team insists on one thing. The object is not natural rock. They send samples to laboratories. They analyze the sonar data. They consult geologists and marine biologists. And they release a statement that sends shockwaves through the scientific community. The object, they claim, is composed of materials that are not typical for the Baltic Sea floor. It contains high concentrations of metals. It has magnetic properties. It interferes with electronic equipment. It is, in their words, something very, very strange. But they do not have the funding to conduct a full-scale scientific investigation. They cannot afford to bring in deep-sea drilling equipment. They cannot afford to excavate. They cannot afford to prove what they believe. And so the Baltic Sea Anomaly sits, silent, waiting, 90 meters beneath the surface. While the world argues about what it might be, there are theories, of course. There are always theories. Theory 1, it is a natural geological formation, a glacial deposit, left behind by retreating ice sheets thousands of years ago. This is the official explanation, the one the scientific establishment prefers. The Baltic Sea was carved by Glacier. They deposited massive boulders. They shaped the seafloor. The anomaly, they say, is simply a piece of unusual rock. But critics of this theory point out something obvious. Glacier do not create perfect circles. They do not create straight lines. They do not create staircases. They do not create circular holes arranged in patterns. Nature can do many extraordinary things, but it does not build like an architect. Theory 2, it is a sunken structure from World War II. An anti-submarine device. A listening post. A secret Nazi weapon test platform. The Baltic Sea is littered with wartime debris. Sunken ships. Downed aircraft. Secret military installations. Perhaps the anomaly is one of them. But there are problems with this theory. The object shows no signs of steel or iron that would be expected from a 20th century military structure. Its size is too large for most known wartime technology. And its location in international waters, far from any strategic shipping lanes, makes little military sense. Theory 3, it is a sunken ancient monument. A Stonehenge of the sea. A city that was submerged by rising ocean levels after the last ice age. 10,000 years ago, before the Baltic Sea even existed, this area was dry land. Forests grew where water now flows. Animals roamed where fish now swim. And perhaps, people built cities. If this theory is correct, the Baltic Sea Anomaly is older than the pyramids. Older than Stonehenge. Older than the oldest known human settlements. It would be the most significant archaeological discovery in human history. But there is no way to prove it. Not without millions of dollars in funding. Not without a full-scale underwater excavation. Not without the cooperation of governments and universities that have already dismissed the anomaly as nothing more than an interesting rock. Theory 4, it is something else. Something that does not fit into any existing category. Something that challenges everything we think we know. The OceanX team has never explicitly stated that the anomaly is a crashed UFO, but they have refused to rule it out. And they have released sonar images that look eerily similar to the Millennium Falcon from Star Wars. A central dome. A flat disk. Angular features. A shape that does not belong on the ocean floor. Skeptics laugh. Scientists roll their eyes. But the images are real. The sonar data is real. The testimony of experienced divers is real. And the question remains unanswered. What is sitting at the bottom of the Baltic Sea? The OceanX team has returned to the anomaly multiple times since 2011. Each time, they bring back more data, more photographs, more samples. But each time, they are forced to retreat. The depth is too great. The conditions are too harsh. The funding is too limited. In 2019, they launched a new expedition. They promised to bring back conclusive evidence. They promised to solve the mystery once and for all. But the expedition was cut short. Equipment failures, bad weather, and the ever-present problem of money. The anomaly remains. Waiting. Why has no government investigated? Why has no university funded a full-scale expedition? Why has one of the most intriguing sonar discoveries of the 21st century been left to a small team of treasure hunters? Perhaps because the implications are too uncomfortable. If the anomaly is a natural formation, it is a colossal waste of time and resources. If it is a sunken ancient city, it rewrites human history. And if it is something else entirely, then everything we think we know about our world is wrong. The Baltic Sea is dark and deep. Its waters keep their secrets. The anomaly sits on the cold seabed, patient and silent. It does not care about our theories. It does not care about our skepticism. It does not care about our funding problems. It simply waits. For someone with enough courage, enough resources, and enough curiosity to finally reveal the truth. Until then, the mystery endures. The sonar images remain. The photographs remain. The testimony of the divers remains. And the question remains. What is hiding 90 meters beneath the Baltic Sea? If this deep dive into modern maritime mysteries fascinated you, subscribe to The Past Unsealed. We uncover the anomalies, the suppressed discoveries, and the unexplained secrets the establishment ignores. And if you want to see more stories like this, tell us in the comments. What unexplained anomaly should we unseal next? Thank you for watching.